want to get a nice apple pie? Look at the apple!
I actually think that's a tomato, but no, that's
It's an apple! This is 14. There's everybody over there. So number 12.
At least we're on the high ground.
Here's number 12.
We're way closer together than I thought. Like, we command a lot of water, but...
Okay. We made it. What do you think?
Good thing we brought the barrow.
I think we made it.
Should we back in?
Not yet.
I gotta remember
We can
that.
edit. We can edit everything.
I gotta remember. Okay, this could always be recording. You're gonna watch it like this.
But what's going on here is like everybody's so laid back,
Yeah.
that they don't care where they go. But you and I want the same swim.
Right.
You gotta have that tension in the storyline.
Oh, yeah.
So
There's
you
lots
guys
of
gotta
tension.
go for this.
Can you not-
Tension in the
Can you not
storyline.
feel the tension?
Yes, it's building.
So-
This might come down to an arm wrestle.
Longest wins.
Never arm wrestle a brick.
I would say
Straw.
go with this.
You really want that swim, eh?
Yeah, actually, I really do. Like I'm happy with all of them, but that one is
So what
talking
happens
to
if
me.
you don't get the stick that you want?
Then where are you going?
Yeah, it's good to establish these rules.
Well,
ahead
the
of time.
longest gets to pick.
No, but then...
But then where's the second spot?
Fourth one.
Oh,
But what if that's what somebody else wants?
Well, you'll have to fight with Alicia. I'm not doing that.
I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, it would just
Can be.
blow everyone's mind.
I've seen her in military bars before, yeah. I wouldn't go that far.
Okay, so I really need to win this.
Oh, that's the long straw.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh!
Well done, man.
There you go.
Okay,
What an arsehole.
you made it as fair as possible.
That's two
You did.
It doesn't bother me, man. Honestly, it doesn't bother me.
Okay, so here's the next question.
Yeah.
And I'll propose this because I definitely want that spot.
Yeah.
My question to you would then be, would you like to join me over there? Because Dave is happy going anywhere.
Well, I have to fish for this man.
Ah.
We've got stuff.
Got stuff to discuss.
We're doing a little YouTube social / tournament with a lot of the members of the Canadian Carp Society right now. We started out, left the house about 4 a.m. this morning, and it's 4 p.m. now, and I'm just in the process of getting our rods in. We got John with the Anglerphiles here that's participating. Down at the far end, we got Carping with the Martins, actually Andrew Fishing. We got Nathan from Improved Carp Angling, and Wayne from the Canadian Carp Society over there, and Will Mushet is going to be joining us shortly. He had to work today, and he's going to make his way out shortly. Hopefully he'll get his lines in before dark. But the initial plan that I had when I first got here, I just tied up a couple of Ronnie rigs, and I thought that I was just going to be able to bomb those out, but I've let it around a bit now, and I've kind of rethought what I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to fish 2 rods. I'm going to have one with a method lead and one with a naked Ronnie, and I'm going to put out a nice bed of bait here shortly. That's the plan. I took a little video of the shoreline. I think the shoreline is kind of indicative of what I imagine I'm feeling out further with my lead, and so I just wasn't confident that the Ronnie rig on its own was going to present well if it got hung up in the weeds, the sparse weeds. They're kind of tall but knee high, it feels like. So I'm just more confident with the naked Ronnie and method lead. So I'm just going to tie those up and get the bait out, and then get my rigs out, and I hope everyone gets into some fish here shortly, and be nice to get into a couple fish before the weather turns on us. There's a weird front we're expecting to come through and drop about an inch of rain on us. So we did have the wind kind of in our faces when we first got here, but I already feel like it's starting to switch a little bit. So I kind of want to hopefully get a quick fish before dark, if possible, ideally. But we'll see how the rest of the event here unfolds. Everyone's, some of us are just meeting each other for the first time outside of some Zoom meetings with the Canadian Carp Society. But it's a good event that kind of solidifies some of the friendships that we've made on the Canadian Carp Society website and the social media channels. So let's see what happens. Okay, we got both the rods out here. We're not fishing out as far as everyone else. Gonna put out a little bit of bait, and hopefully we can make something good happen. We're losing our light here pretty quick, so just gonna put out a nice little bed of bait in tight where my rigs are at, and go cook something for breakfast. Haven't eaten since yesterday, so keep the energy up and get a little bit of carbohydrates and whatnot into me before it gets cold and wet. Gotta do what?
Drop a manager car off at his dad's.
next.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we got more nuts than corn in here.
They blew up. They hit the water in this pressure cooker, and they just got blue.
I think you can do your peanuts like that again. Yeah, you make some big nuts.
And they got a nice crunch to them.
Do the nuts cook by themselves?
Yep.
Wow, they're spongy, almost like they were stretched.
They pop. There's a little bit of.
Yeah.
I think the fish will like that.
I definitely agree with that. Wow.
Well, I thought you actually broke your spot.
It comes apart because it's cheap one. Chinese one. I have some sweet corn with it too, but I was saving that for tomorrow. I'm not going to fit them mix for tomorrow. Like crush boilies with sweet corn. Maybe a little bit of oats for color and flavor. Why did you do that?
Just to piss me off. Okay, everyone's just kind of hanging out right now. Everyone's come from their respective areas and gathered here. We've done the peg draw, set up the camps, got the rods and the bait out, and now we're just catching up, telling some stories, cooking some food, and hopefully in the next little while, hopefully somebody will sneak one out early and kind of get everyone's spirits up before John's hoping it's going to be him.
No, I just hope somebody
Oh,
does.
well, hopefully someone gets one out early before the weather takes a turn. I haven't had the greatest cell reception or Wi-Fi here at all, or internet, and so I can't really check the weather, but Andrew pulled up an app on his phone, and it looks like we might skirt the majority of the precipitation, but I don't think there's any way it's going to miss us, so hopefully if we do get rained on, at least it turns the fish on. But gonna have a little bite to eat, and Will should be pulling up any minute now, so
7:30?
well, it's about 6:30 now, so
About an hour.
we'll see Will soon, and that'll have everyone here, and officially, I guess, kick off the event.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be good.
Whoops. It's a feeding window.
Yeah, I'm not running for that.
No.
Is it a fall fish?
What is that?
Is that chub?
Awesome.
I have no idea.
Fall fish?
Yeah, it's a chub.
Fish.
Is it?
Yeah, look at him though. He's,
Dude, it's covered in blood.
yeah, he got chomped by a muskie. Look at that.
I wonder if he had the
That
musk.
makes sense.
Nah.
Yeah, there was weight on that.
So now we.
A muskie on with this
Yeah.
on.
So so that was why. That's why it came off. It was holding. You had a muskie holding that.
Oh, I wish I had my underwater
Look at
camera
the
on that.
teeth on that. Look at the tooth
There's
marks.
chunks sticking out of the side of it.
I'm like, I felt it like go.
That is awesome.
That's a first.
Too bad we couldn't. Oh yeah, I wish we could have seen the fish.
There's
that was
definitely not
chomped
going to
on
be a
that.
release video.
So Andrew, just so you know, there's a key piece of information here.
Yeah.
That's your blank saber.
Yeah.
True. What time does the competition start? Oh, wait, no.
Okay, it's just after 9 now, and everyone had just gathered around a campfire just down the bank a little bit, and we had just finished eating, and Will arrived, and Wayne had come over here. I don't know if he was coming to check on his rods, but Wayne was into a fish, but nobody knew that he was into a fish, and we were still over by the fire, and my receiver was going off and my wader's here, and I ran over here to play my fish, but it was kind of lost my bearings running through all the bivvies and the vehicles and trying to find the path down to the rods, and I could see Wayne was already down by the water, and I was curious why he wasn't picking up my rod just to hook into the fish, and I've come to realize that he was trying to figure out if his fish that he had on was the reason my alarm was going off, and he was, just as I was coming down the hill, he was coming to the conclusion that it had nothing to do with the fish that he had on, that I had my own fish on. But unfortunately Wayne's fish came off, and after I set into my fish, I only got a couple of head shakes, 2 or 3 seconds. 2 or 3 seconds worth of a fight, and my fish was off too. So with all that said, it's just nice that, you know, we've only really had our lines in for 5 hours maybe or less, and we've already had a couple of runs. So hopefully we'll get into a few fish tonight, and if not, then hopefully they'll play ball with us tomorrow with the overcast skies and everything we have tomorrow. Hopefully there'll be a day bite as well. But I'm gonna go back over to the fire and catch up with everybody, and I'm gonna turn off the light in my bivvy here because I left the door open and the light on, and my bivvy's kind of full of bugs right now. So hopefully the next time I come on camera, somebody will be playing a fish, and we can get the first fish on the bank and get the skunk out of the way. I don't know if Andrew's fish, Andrew had a fall fish earlier, and it got grabbed by a predator. I don't know if it was a pike or a muskie, but something with teeth had basically ripped into the tail end of that fish. So we're not officially skunked as a group because Andrew managed to land the fall fish, but that's not basically what we are out here for. So hopefully somebody will put one on the bank soon. Morning!
I lost my umbrella. It flew right off my damn head.
Oh.
Couldn't catch it with the rig.
I'm sorry if this shot is a little bit backlit. I was more concerned about audio for this. So I haven't really done a proper update for what happened through the night, but so after Will arrived and got his rods out, we were sitting around the campfire, just kind of comparing notes and that, and Will ended up landing a little bullhead. It wasn't that little, it was, I don't know, probably in like 12 inches or so. But outside of that, nothing really happened through the night. I think Andrew might have had a drop run through the night, and the wind was kind of coming consistently, roughly from the southwest, and the current has really picked up, I think, because the wind has been consistently coming from the same direction for so long. And through the night, there was a lot of weed, balls of weed that were taking out everybody's lines. So through the night, you know, a few of us made a couple recasts, and then a few of us ended up pulling out our lines after a couple of recasts through the night, just trying to keep from hopping back into bed wet and stuff all the time, and keeping the alarms a little more quiet. I think the only person on this side that kept I think Nathan left one rod in through the night, and he hooked up early this morning to a fish, and fortunately I think he lost that in the weeds, but it feels good. We've been seeing fish kind of crash like in the area anyway, and we're hoping that if the wind dies down, maybe the fish will push in a little bit. So we're just kind of every couple times my rods get wiped out, I throw a little more bait in, and then hopefully when things finally settle down, then hopefully we can get into multiple fish. But unfortunately, I think the only people that have lost fish so far, I think Wayne, Nathan, and myself have all lost fish, and with the conditions, nobody else is really sure if they've had drop runs or just balls of weeds blowing through. But we're a little behind schedule with the food and that. It's 10 o'clock now, and everyone's just kind of finishing up breakfast and having some coffees and that. But we're optimistic with Nathan having lost that fish this morning, and I've seen the fish crash myself, so on being such a big river, the fact that you're seeing fish in the area kind of helps with the confidence a little bit. So hopefully we'll get that first fish on the bank soon, and then it'll get everybody kind of reinvigorated and maybe reevaluate their presentations or whatever. But it would be nice to see a few fish come in now.
I was literally just out 40 yards out casting my rod.
Well done, sir.
Exciting. Nicely done.
There you go, buddy.
Yeah, there was a big sense of relief earlier. It's been a couple hours since this happened, but Wayne got into a nice little like 10-pound fish, and he followed that up with 2 more since then, and Nathan got one as well. So we've had 4 fish in, and Wayne's first 2, and then Nathan and Wayne's, they came fairly close together, and it seems like the wind is starting to shift from southwest, and maybe starting to come around from behind us from the north a little bit, as opposed to mostly into our face. So we're hoping that little transition period, if everything calms down a little bit, everyone for whatever reason is thinking that there might be another little flurry of fish. So John and I, since Wayne and Nathan got into their fish, we've kind of repositioned the rigs and got some more bait out. So and you can tell that even the other pegs, like Will and Sean and Andrew and everybody, Alicia, everyone's kind of gotten a bit of a second wind now that the rain's been a little more intermittent and there's been a few fish come in. So hopefully, hopefully the fish hang out and everybody's able to land a few before the end of the event here. But it kind of made us a little more excited to kind of continue on, and gave everybody a little more confidence that we're in the right spot and the fish are on us, and maybe if everyone just made slight adjustments, that everybody could get into a couple fish. So we got some wet mats and some stinky nets, and hopefully everybody else experiences the same thing. So we'll touch base again soon, when hopefully with another fish. So of course my memory card filled up right where John was doing a little presentation to everyone that had come along today for the YouTuber social / bloggers / Canadian Carp Society / get together tournament deal. We'll come up with a shorter name next year, but yeah, he put together some nice mugs for everybody, and everybody's putting out some great content. So down below in the video, I'll try to put links for each of the channels. For Wayne, I'll put a link for the Canadian Carp Society YouTube channel, Nathan's Improved Carp Angling channel, John's The Angler Files, Andrew Fishing, Alicia and Sean will be carping with the Martins, and Will Mushet's channel as well. So And then also Team Carp. Paul couldn't make it, but if I remember, I'll put a link to his channel down below as well. And also Aunt Carping for Galen's channel, and then if anybody else, I'll try to get all the links below. And if you're curious about what's happening here in Canada for carp fishing, on the carp fishing scene, there's some good content coming out, and we're excited for a lot of things that are developing and growing as the Canadian Carp Society comes together. So if you're interested and you're following any of these other channels, then I highly recommend getting involved with the Canadian Carp Society. There's lots of articles and discounts for merchandise and subscription services and discounts with top retailers, and there's a lot of other benefits, meeting up with local anglers and rig videos. There's their own social media site, plus the Facebook and Instagram and everything. So it's a really good tool for someone that's just getting into carp fishing, or and it's a good way for people to meet each other. And carp fishing can be enjoyed on a lot of different levels. It can be a very social thing, or a very personal kind of get away from things and isolate yourself type of fishing. So it can be enjoyed on a lot of levels. So hopefully my rod screams off soon and I can get a fish for myself. But so far Wayne's putting on a bit of a clinic, and Nathan's got into some. So the landing ratio is getting a little bit better thanks to Wayne as well. So I'll talk to you again in a little bit. I'll go christen my coffee cup. The wind decided to lay down a little bit, and the rain's given us a little bit of a break. So everyone's taking the opportunity to hopefully dry out a little bit by the fire. Reposition the rods again. Wayne's had another run, and unfortunately that fish dropped off on the way in.
Oh, did it pop off?
So our landing ratio has gone down again, but at least we're getting some activity again. Hopefully the anglers on the other side of this point, Andrew, Alicia, Sean, and Will, hopefully they start to get some action now that the wind is laying down and the weeds aren't blowing through, drifting through and taking out our lines as often. And hopefully this will be our little window that maybe we'll get another flurry of bites. But if it doesn't, at least we're not all sitting in our bivvies trying to stay dry and getting a chance to share some stories again around the fire.
Nice run, dude. That rod was just bent the whole time going.
And that was with the... You had some forceps handy, didn't you? Sorry, I can't get this shoddy out there. That's buried. Where was that ledge, Sean?
I was right here underneath.
I think it's going through a hole in the net.
Yeah, it is. Oh, you do got a hole.
That's not big enough for him.
No concern. That's a quality fish.
Whoa! Cassie. Didn't I say to you it wasn't that big, but then he took that run.
Well, that was a solid run, man.
Hug a carp. Hug a carp.
Look what you get. You hooked me.
Well Team Savage!
That's big.
Whoa. Nice fish, brother. That's a heavy fish.
That's beautiful. That's solid. That's just pure
That's
muscle.
solid. That's
pure
St.
muscle,
Lawrence
man.
beast. Look at the tail.
Absolutely.
What are you saying, John? 18, 19? You think he'll go 20?
It's going to be borderline 20 there, yeah.
I think it's going to break 20. I think we're only looking maybe 21.
Yeah.
21 and a half.
Look at the colors. Look at the belly. The belly's orange.
Oh, I think that's too much.
I think
20 pounds, 4 ounces.
Oh,
yeah.
Not 24.
Yeah.
20-pound for.
Gorgeous.
Wayne, if you would please, you pull the weight because I don't know how to read these scales.
22 pounds, 8 ounces.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes, more than we thought. Wow.
That's solid
Thank you,
fish.
sir.
Solid fish. Solid fish,
Well
bud.
done, John.
22.4?
Yeah.
I sure hope the officials for the SSF are going to write that down.
Well, we weren't here, right? What do we know?
Fair.
Well, apparently you know how to catch carp.
That's a beauty.
Look at that.
Well done, John.
Yeah, beauty.
That,
How wide is it across the shoulders? Can I just I'm just squeezing across
yeah,
here.
look at that.
That's gorgeous.
Oh yeah. Okay. There's the weight.
That's a gorgeous fish. Well done. Look at the wrist of the tail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Stunning, man. Well done, buddy. Well done. Well, boys, hopefully we're in for a good night if the big girls are into play
That's
now.
on the chotty.
On the shod. Well done, John.
That's the one that was out in the weeds over those boilies.
Absolutely.
Listen, I can't lay down here much longer
I'm
now.
sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
There you go.
Put the tail up a bit.
Yeah. Beauty fish.
Oh, like this.
Smile.
Where's the meat hooks, John? Get the meat
Oh,
hooks
hang
in
on.
there.
Meat hook Monday.
Yeah, meat hook Monday. Right on.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Well done.
Well done, buddy.
That's awesome, man.
Whew, that was a liner.
Well
Just
done.
gone.
Yeah.
Proper run.
One tone. Oh,
Who's
there's that
beeping?
fucking GoPro again.
Oh.
Oh,
The
yeah,
GoPro
yeah.
turning off.
Okay, let's get this
Damn
back
it,
in.
can they not change
They should make a different tone for
Yeah.
carp anglers when using GoPro. Beep, 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 beep. What? Here, John, stop for a second. Someone lift up this hood so I can get the fucking CTS. Nice. Just step out of the way. There you go. Alright, I want to get that in front of it. Look at me, John. What do you want to say?
Welcome to the CCS. That's what the Canadian Carp Society is all about.
Hi, buddy.
Catching fish and sharing good time. Thank you. Big day.
Well, the rain has not let up. The rain has been pretty much relentless. It'll give us a little half an hour window here and there of reprieve, but not enough to dry out at all. So everybody's soaked and trying to huddle around the fire and kind of not necessarily losing confidence, but wondering why we hadn't gotten a bite when we got kind of a window of conditions that we were hoping for. And I was catching a bit of a chill, and I mentioned making some food, and then John got hungry as well, so we came over, we just started to make some food, and John's rod ripped off, and I missed the fight with my camera because I had to grab John's camera, and while John was fighting his fish, Wayne's line went off again. Unfortunately, Wayne's fish dropped off, but he's been taking the majority of the runs today and yesterday. But John weighed in a nice fish, 22 pounds, 4 ounces, and we're in the second day of the Canadian Carp Society Spring, Summer, Fall tournament as well. So not only did he get to weigh in this fish for the YouTubers' social, but he also got to weigh in the fish for the Canadian Carp Society SSF event, and so that was an important fish. John put a lot of effort into, everything behind the scenes, and just getting his own gear together and getting gear together for me and everything. So it was nice to see him bank a fish. So pretty much everyone on this side has landed a fish except for myself. And then over on the other side of this point area, we haven't seen any fish activity really, so Hopefully, now that the wind is flipped around, hopefully maybe tonight's the night for Alicia, Sean, and Will. But I'm gonna have a quick bite to eat, maybe put out a little more bait, and then hopefully I can get into a couple fish myself. If not tonight, then hopefully first thing tomorrow, because we're only doing a short day tomorrow. But it's definitely been fun hanging out with everyone, and it's nice that we put a couple fish on the bank now, and you know, hopefully we'll get into a couple more fish. But regardless of how the rest of the day goes, or the night and into tomorrow, it's definitely kind of got everybody thinking about doing it again next year, and that's half of what this event was about, being social. So.
Nathan was number 2 for the day. Hog squad. Pardon me.
Beautiful.
Well done, Nathan.
Good job, Nathan.
Okay, just a quick update before it gets completely dark out here. Do you remember how big Nathan's fish was?
15 and 5.
Thank you. So, just as I was finishing cooking up my food, John had his fish. I don't know if I mentioned that one. I think I did. And then shortly after that, Nathan was kind of repositioning his rods, and I think one of them...
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. What?
I think Sean's got a fish on, so I'm gonna go cut this short and go see if I can get him playing that fish.
I got a fish. Who?
got those too, man. Just
Amazing. Wow, look how calm it is over here now.
my hot dog?
Oh, I got it. Where's my hot dog?
Right here.
Where's your line?
It's fine. Don't worry about it yet.
I hope we can see this.
You're good.
Yes, Alicia.
Oh my God. I almost choked on the hot dog on the sprint, man.
I was trying to cook my sausages and I just heard a screech. I'm like, what happened? What happened?
Do you want to hold mine and I'll get a light, or no? Or do you think it'll be all over by the time I get back?
It might be over by the time you get back, but I
All
can
right.
hold it if you want it, Dave.
That's okay.
We'll need lights
You didn't spit the hook?
at some point.
Is it there?
Yep.
Oh, he's just swimming right at you.
Nope. Always swimming right at me.
And it's coming right for us.
We have to kill them so they won't kill us.
Straight ahead.
No, we have to kill
Oh, I
them so
see.
they won't die.
I'm gonna get on the inside of you.
Yes, look at this. Peaceful over here now.
Holding to the bay on this side. That's exciting.
Where are you right now?
Going right.
I don't have a headlamp. Oh, Christ, he's right here.
He's coming right for us.
You're left, you're left. Right there.
You got it. Yep. Yes. Yes.
Yes,
In the
Alicia.
basket.
Welcome to St. Lawrence Carping, baby.
There's some more editing now.
Well done, Alicia. Well done.
It's gonna be all cut up.
Good job. Okay, I've been trying to do this update for about an hour or so now. I think basically Nathan had a fish earlier, just over 15 pounds. And then Alicia had a fish. I think her fish was maybe just over 12 or something like in that neighborhood. I'll have to check one of the other videos to figure that out for sure. And then after Alicia, I had a fish, and I didn't even weigh it. It had a lot of health issues, let's say. It was missing some fins, and I had a beat up mouth, and it just didn't look well, so I didn't even try to weigh it or anything. I just got it back into the water as quick as I could. And then after that, Wayne had another run, and I tried to do some filming in the dark, but I don't think that was getting picked up at all. So I shut off the camera. And that takes us to now. Everybody's basically kind of reevaluated their positions and strategy for the night. I think Nathan is stuck with his plan. I think he's found a nice little patch out there between some weed beds, and he's happy with that. Wayne, I think he moved one or two of his rods into margin rods and kind of baited in tight, so we'll have to see how that works out. I switched one of my rods to a method feeder that was a rocket sort of feeder with a naked Ronnie. So I have two method feeders out now, and I'm not fishing out that far, just the first weed edge. John, he's got a few things going on. He's fishing over a bed of boilies with the chod rig, and I can't even remember what he has on his other lines. But yeah, this is kind of what everyone was coming here for. Everyone's starting to get into some fish, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I don't know. Maybe the fish are biting because of the rain, but the only thing that's really putting a dull on the event is just the fact that the rain has been relentless, and I think it's causing a bit of havoc with my equipment. I only have one or two cameras that are working right now, and hopefully when they dry out a bit, I'll be back in business, but I might not do any more filming through the night. I might just wait till morning and hopefully do an update, or hopefully we're into some fish at first light, but the wind is laid down a little bit, but the rain has just been a constant, so we'll leave it at that, and hopefully there'll be a little more action before we have to wrap things up and head home. Okay, it's just after 7 now. It
Top of the morning, lad.
finished raining not too long ago. Everybody's just getting up and about, comparing notes from the night before. I'm not sure how everyone else is done, but I know that for myself, I had one fish drop off in the night. I got down there, reeled into the fish, and I fought it most of the way in, and it spit the hook just a couple yards from shore. I didn't even get a look at it, but it felt decent. And then after that, I had one indication on my right rod, and I didn't think anything of it because the wind and the waves were up pretty high. But it must have been a drop back, and because it was just a small fish that basically kited to the right and managed to take out both of John's rods. And then when it did that, he was getting indications on his rods and went down to investigate, and it turns out it was my fish that had wiped out his rods. And as he was trying to figure out why his rods were dancing, he could hear the drag going on my right rod, and he went in and reeled in a small fish off my right rod. And then I had to go down and help untangle things. And then I think he only put one rod out after that. I put both my rods back out, and I had 2 more small fish after that, maybe 10 or 11 pounds. The small fish that wiped out his rods was maybe 4 or 5 pounds, or not very big at all. And I just had another kind of a whack on my rod. So before too long here, I think I'm just gonna recast my rods and have a copy, and then compare notes with everyone else. The wind is almost done like a 180 from the other day, but the fish are still here, so hopefully before we pack up, I think John was planning on being on the road for just after lunch, maybe 1 o'clock or so, roughly. So there should be some time for another fish or 2 if they're still here. And but first priority right now is just to have a fresh coffee. Okay, most of the anglers here today are up and about and have compared notes, and every one of us has seen fish kind of washing all along the weed line in front of us, on the near side and the far side. So there's a ton of fish activity this morning, and everyone's feeling pretty confident, so everyone's basically put on fresh hook baits and spotted out a little bit more food. And I'm anticipating, I don't want to jinx it, but I'm anticipating there's going to be a couple more fish come in very quickly this morning. So I'm going to attempt to get that coffee started that I alluded to earlier. I had one of my alarms rip off just as Nathan and John were coming down to resort their rods from last night, and I've had a few of my better feeling fish kind of lock up around a rock or something out there, and unfortunately that was the case with that fish as well. So I'm going to get the coffee going, and hopefully the next time the camera comes on, there'll be a fish on the net. Just sneaking up on 10 a.m. now, and I forgot that Wayne had a fish around 18 pounds in the night. I must have slept through some of that. I think that happened just before the little fish twirled around John's lines. Then I set up a camera for a live take, and shortly after that John managed a nice little fish. And shortly after that, Will landed his first chunky little fish, and so he was pretty pumped with that, his first St. Lawrence fish. So the St. Lawrence is a pretty neat piece of water, and you know, you could probably fish it your whole life and not really scratch the surface of it. But there's a kind of a different vibe here around the campsites, and everyone seems to be feeling pretty good right now. So hopefully Andrew will get into a fish, and Sean before we go. But if not, they're all just happy that everyone's managed to get a few, and then we've spent some time together. It's coming up on 12 o'clock now, and I've kind of lost track of what's happened since the last update, and that's not such a bad thing. Wayne just landed another fish. I think it was around 17 pounds. John had a pretty fish with like a bunch of weird scales and that. I don't know if anything else has happened since then, but I'm kind of swapping out batteries and memory cards, trying to limp along with the equipment that's kind of cooperating at the moment, so hopefully this all pieces together well. I know I've done a terrible job with the audio, but hopefully that'll be something that I can improve on down the road. This weekend has come together. You know, the way the first couple of hours unfolded, everyone was kind of down, and there's been peaks and valleys all through this, but looking back on this, I know that you know, everyone's gonna just kind of remember the good times and remember to keep your head in the game as you know, as the session unfolds. But hopefully you get a chance to check out how the unfolded from other people's perspectives. So anyways, my camera is literally dying as I speak, so be sure to check out how things unfolded from everyone else's perspective. Carping with the Martins, Will Mushet's channel, the Angler Files, Improved Carp Angling, and the Canadian Carp Society. And it's been a blast, and look forward to next year. Thanks for checking out the video.
Yeah, that's where I was casting to.
And I think I unintentionally left out actually Andrew fishing, so that's an additional channel to check out for the participants that were here this weekend. And like I said, you'll find the links to all those the appropriate channels down below.
Folded my blankets.